Hello, it's Debbie from Create Pretty Things and Chalk Pretty Things. I'm here to do a cute little club couture project with you. It's the one for the month of May, and it uses this cute, adorable Paris transfer. So if you want to know about the club, go ahead and type in the word club or type in the word May, and I'll get you signed up for that, or you can just take a look at what it involves and decide if it's something you want to do. This is our transfer this month. It's all about Paris, and I think it's really, really cute. And with your club, you always get an 8.5 inch by 11 inch transfer, and you get a surface. This transfer this month is going to be these little tags that you can ink part or chalk parts of this transfer on. You're also going to get some paste. So this month, they choose them specifically for each project. So this one is eucalyptus, espresso, which is like a dark brown, and nominee, which is one of my favorites. And that all comes with your kit. The kit, I believe, is $27.99 a month, and it is delivered monthly to your door. There's not much you have to do except for make sure your credit card is valid every month, and that it's delivered, and you have everything you need to create a project. We are going to do something a little different. We're not going to use the door tags. I do have this arched wooden frame. I have spray painted it white, and that's where we're going to start. Now, I thought about just putting it on directly like it is. And I'm debating. I really like that. I could cut it apart and move things around. So I'm kind of debating. Let's just get started, and we'll go from there to see. It might not all fit the way it is either. So let's get started. Now, I wanted to do something a little bit with the background, and I'm sure you've all seen me do this watercolor technique with markers. So for the background, I wanted to do some pinks, and these are watercolor markers. I'm just going to kind of scribble up here. So I want a lot of pink in the sky. I want some blue in the sky. And maybe a little bit of orange. Let's see. A little bit of orange through here. And you can do this different shapes if you want. Like I can go up here and do part of the, I'm kind of making it look like this is the sky. That's what my goal is right now. And maybe a little orange up here. And then as we go down, it's going to be more towards the ground. So I think I'm going to bring it down into like some browns. A little bit of browns. And maybe some grays. Gray would be nice. Let's try the gray. Kind of mixing it in with the brown. I want to make sure that my Eiffel Tower stands out. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do it black or gold yet. So I'm going to use brown here. And then I think I'll do a little bit of green at the very bottom. And maybe kind of spike it up a little bit. Just blend it in. So this is kind of what my background is going to look like. And I'm going to put it on this board here. We're going to go ahead and spritz it with some water. So I've got just regular water in here. I'm going to spritz it on here. And of course, that's going to cause the paint to run a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place this down. And I should have masked off the sides of this. I'm not sure. We'll check it out as we go. But I'm just going to push this down here inside my arch and kind of just press it down to spread that paint or marker, the running marker, around. And I'm just aiming to get a background. That's all I'm doing right now. So let's go ahead and see. And I want to go ahead and pull up my video just to make sure that I can see any comments that we may have. Keep up with you guys. Okay, so I've got this down. Let's take a peek at it. It's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and wet it a little bit more. Now, if this doesn't look exactly like you want it to look, you can also, this is what it looks like right now, kind of messy. You can also just go ahead and spritz this a little more. And I can color in like at the bottom if I want it to be a little more grayish or brown or green. It didn't really catch the green very much. I could color directly on here and let it get spread with the water. So the water will cause it to spread. And once again, I'm just trying to get a background right now. And it did kind of get over on the edges of my frame. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that up just a little bit with a wet paper towel. Any spots that I have that may have gotten on there. I'm not sure how I'm going to embellish this yet. I may choose to paint the outer rim to accentuate this. I may not. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my foil down again. And it's probably going to overlap some of the areas that I've already chalked or colored or markered and spread, and that's okay. Okay, let's pull it up. Okay, it's kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and dry this right now because that's our first step before we can go ahead and get started with the chalking portion of this. I feel like I need to pull you guys back, pull this way back so you can see. Okay, so I'm just going to dry this, and as I dry it, my watercolor will move, and that's okay. It's okay with me. Some of this looks kind of muddy at the bottom where I did the brown. I think that's okay. Because I really just wanted to get a little touch of color on this. Now, of course, the more water that you spray, the longer it's going to take to dry. So I just kind of dabbed it a little bit with my paper towel. You can also paint the background with chalk paste, or acrylic paint if you wanted to. I just wanted to add a little bit of color, not anything that was really bold, but something that would bring a little color to the background. This is going to be kind of a romantic looking picture. I probably should have done a little more pink to the sky. Or maybe I still could. Do a little more pink in here. Just kind of spritz it a little bit, which of course will take up our drawing time. And we'll just keep going until it's dry. So with our club, it's really fun. Some months they've had like maybe a cosmetic bag to do. Sometimes they provide a small frame. Sometimes it's a wooden block. Sometimes it's a wooden shape, a thin pad of wood. Sometimes it's a piece of paper, like a watercolor paper. Other times it could be a sock. There's all kinds of things that they send out as design pieces for you to go ahead and do your monthly projects on. So I don't want you to feel like you're always going to get the same board. Like today's project were these little chalkable tags. You're not always going to get the same surface every month. So don't worry about it. All you have to do is enjoy it once you get it and have fun crafting it. We love to share ideas here, how people have used this differently and the results that they get. It's a lot of fun. And for the price to get a perfectly finished product every month and have a little fun time and really enjoy yourself while you're crafting, I think it's a great way to relax. I'm going to go ahead and sponge this off a little bit just to help it dry. We're almost there, we're almost dried. So it's Friday night, guys, the weekend's starting. I've got some big plans for tomorrow. How about you? As you jump on, please say hello, heart the video, and type in the word club to get information about what I'm using tonight for my project. And also, let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to know. And if you don't see the live button up at the top, please comment #replay so that I know that you watched. It helps me when you comment because it helps push out my live to other people. And that way I can share my projects and get feedback and enjoy what I'm doing with you guys. Okay, so we have our transfer here, and this is called, sometimes we call them stencils, sometimes we call them transfers. It's really a silk screen stencil is what it is. And it comes on this backer. You're going to just peel it off. You're going to keep your backer because you want to replace it on that. Now these are sticky, and you can see how the silk screen will allow the paste to go through onto the surface down below. So I have something called a fuzz cloth, but all you really need is anything that has a little bit of fabric to it, because you want to fuzz it a little bit by putting it down, rubbing it, and lifting it a couple times. You could do it on your shirt, your jeans, a bath towel, a dish towel, anything that's fabric. The purpose is to reduce that stickiness a little bit so that you don't stretch your transfer when you pull it up and it doesn't pull off any paint down below. So let's see, do I want to do it like it is here? I might want to do the Eiffel Tower here off to the side a little bit. Well, maybe I'll start with this side. I might want to do the crown up a little higher. Well, let's see. If I were to move this over, could I get everything on here? I think I could. I think I can get everything to fit on here just like it is by moving it over. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and try, see what's going on. I think I want my Eiffel Tower to be either in Nominee or black. Let's go ahead and do it in Nominee. I've got a jar of Nominee here. I'm going to go ahead and use my jar instead of my pack. The individual paste packets are great, but I already have a jar that's open, and it might be good to have one of these paste packs on hand in case one of you guys needs something for one of your projects. I could send it out to you. I'll have it on hand as a stock. So I'm just going to go ahead. This color is so pretty. Can you guys see the metallics in that? This is called Nominee. It is our metallic gold, and it's one of my very favorite colors of everything that we have. And they just announced that it was going to be available as an ink permanently now. Sometimes they don't release the same colors in ink and paste, but this one has been so popular that they decided to go ahead and add it to the ink lineup. You would use ink if you were doing a fabric project, something that was fabric. Okay, I've got my Eiffel Tower on here. I think I want to do my crown as well in Nominee. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right here. Get that done. And then maybe my key. Okay. And the key is right up against the crack, the crease. So I'm going to work on it here. Okay. These colors are going to be kind of romantic looking. You know, when you think of Paris, you think of romance, right? Well, that's what these are going to be. Okay, now there's something called paste and peel, and it's a technique because our paste dries pretty quickly. You don't want it to dry in that silk screen. So I am just going to go ahead and lift up this transfer to release that paste, and then I'm going to put it back down, not pressing where I've already chalked, but around the edges. I'm also going to lift it from the very bottom to release that paste. If I don't do this step, there's a good chance that that paste will dry in the silk screen, and when you go to pull it up, it's going to pull up. It won't stay. The paste will not stay down below. It will pull up with it. Let's go ahead and do our eucalyptus. I have a little color tray here, and I'm going to go ahead and use my packet for this one. I'm just going to squeeze out some of this because there's usually more than enough to use in each of these packets. And if I have too much, I can reseal this packet and use it again for another project. But I cannot put it back in the packet. So I'm just going to put a little bit out. And I think I'm going to do my bicycle in the green. And this is so easy, guys. It's just like spreading butter on toast. It just glides over. Let's do this little restaurant sign at the bottom in the eucalyptus, which is the green. Make sure I get that edge. And I think I will do this little embellishment, this little square here, this little triangle embellishment. Now look, I still have some left over if I decide to come back to this. Other than that, I'm going to use my nominee for the rest of this. So I've got my little pack of paste. And really what you want to do is you want to kind of squeeze these packets and make sure that they're very flexible and movable. And then it's best to cut off the bottom of your packet and squeeze a little out, because when you fold them up from the bottom, you can still see the name of what the color is at the top. I'm going to go ahead and release this green paste from here. Okay, and the bicycle, release it. Oh, it looks cute. Looks cute, guys. Now I do see a little piece, a little spot that I missed right here on the bicycle tire. Since it's down, I'm going to go ahead and paste that over with some remaining paste. Now I'm going to do my shoe, an espresso, and it is right up against the edge. And my words here, the Paris. This espresso is almost, it's kind of separating like it's a greenish kind of patina color for some reason, which would be really cool. Make sure you get all the tops and bottoms of your design that you want to chalk. It's real easy to miss those, and I am famous for missing them. I don't want you to miss them, so make sure you pay attention to those. I'm going to go ahead and do this flower, and it's kind of lifting a little bit. I hope I don't have an air bubble under there. If you don't have this pressed down firmly, it could have an air bubble, and in that case, the paste may run. It won't be stuck down enough to contain that part of the paste in the little channels, the silk screen areas. So you do want to make sure you check that. I need a little bit more paste, but I hesitate to squeeze a whole bunch out because I'm almost done. Okay, I'm looking it over. It looks pretty good. Now for this, I am going to move my paste down towards the bottom of my packet. And then I can roll this down, clean up the packet a little bit. I can roll down this top and tape it or use a paper clip and it'll be secure. I usually put it in a Ziploc bag as well. Just to prevent it from drying out. Let's see if I have some tape back here. Okay, so I've rolled it down. I'm going to tape it. So now I can still see that it's espresso color, and I can put it in a plastic Ziploc bag to save it for later. And I did drop it in the paste. Okay, so now remember, we don't want that paste to dry in here, so we're going to go ahead and lift it up. And I do have a bleed on that seal. Other than that, it looks really good. I do have a little bit on this edge right here that I want to get up. So this is just water on a paper towel. Sometimes it spreads. And if that's the case, I have a little piece of a board eraser that I cut up, and I'm just going to use that because this really cleans everything up really well. Okay, so now that's done. And let me, whoops, I don't know if I just did this or what. We do kind of like this to look a little weathered. So let me show you what it looks like. Now this is a very simple one. I didn't alter the layout at all. I use it just like it is. Now what I will be doing is painting the outside black, maybe gold, maybe the inner border as well, but I think it looks beautiful. What do you guys think? Do you want to go to Paris? I think this is a good reminder that it's a possibility. Okay guys, I hope you love it. I'll be back on soon. I hope to see you there. Share this with anyone that you think will love it, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye. Hello, love.